course, many of you are wondering if there are any flight restrictions in place. For that, we go now live to CBS 11's Jim McClure from Merrill Field. And Jim, are flights taking off from South Central as normal, or are there restrictions people need to know about tonight?
Well, Laura, flights are taking off and landing here at Merrill. In fact, behind me, the second plane behind, we flew up earlier today. It just came back with another load. This is really the Grand Central Station of a town that's the aviation crossroads of the world. 1 in 4 Alaskans, and perhaps even a higher percentage, are pilots or related to aviation here in Anchorage. And we're at Take Flight, Alaska. People fly out of here to take lessons, to take tours all across the state, and for general aviation purposes. There were some cancellations. Take Flight had to cancel one training flight that was going on earlier today. And also Penn Air, the small commuter airline out of Anchorage, canceled a flight from Dillingham down to King Salmon. But other than that, pilots are continuing with cancellations, not as much a factor as taking precautions. Let's take a look now from a bird's eye view as we flew over the Anchorage area. You have to wonder what would happen as you approach downtown Anchorage if you were seeing that plume. Today, many things were continuing. The Air Force flights were going on. We saw F-15s landing as scheduled. They have to fly a little bit north. Commercial jetliners are as scheduled. They're flying north and east to stay out of the plume area. It's mostly at 30,000 feet as we skirt the mountaintops around the bowl of Anchorage. And down below, the Turnagain Arm and the Seward Highway. Beautiful day for flying, safe, but like tornado watchers, pilots are always looking forward to what might happen with the plume. And we talked to a pilot about how dangerous ash could be.
Planes and things like that, we want to keep them indoors if at all possible. We want to tape up the engine cowls and anywhere that the ash could possibly get into, and we certainly don't want to fly anywhere near it. You can fly through hurricanes, but you don't want to fly through an ash plume in a, not us or we fly through hurricanes, but it's possible to fly an airplane through a hurricane, but you don't want to fly through an ash plume in a volcano. Very dangerous stuff for aviation.
Dangerous indeed. That's why military pilots overseas are very scared and shut down when they approach a dust storm. Now, we got some precautions from the Civil Air Patrol. They're the auxiliary of the Air Force on what you should do if you're a pilot. This is from Colonel Carl Brown, the wing commander. First of all, you want to update your flight briefings. Keep in touch with the latest on where this plume is moving. Stay away from the ash. If that gets into a plane's engine or exhaust, you've got real trouble. And when you're on the ground, stow it indoors if you can, as Eric Boyd of Take Flight Alaska mentioned, and better yet, keep that windshield covered. If that gets pitted, later on it could cause a real safety hazard. But for now, planes are flying, no plume approaching us. Flight operations continue. We'll have more live at 6 here on CBS 11 News.
Thank you, Jim, for that update tonight.